world of tank blitzers and future mumrads. I'm Littlefinger. Today I am reviewing the Pz Kpfw IV. It is a tier 3 medium. It is a German tank. You can see it here in my garage in this Halloween edition. Let's go ahead and take a look at the setup real quick. You can see here it comes with either a 5 centimeter or a 7.5 centimeter gun. I here am running it with the tier 4 gun, and it can wallop out some serious damage. We'll get into that in a little bit. What I liked about this tank here is that it does have very good maneuverability. While the hull on this at 14 millimeters is fairly poor, it does have a nice frontal armor on the turret, which if you get hull down is advantageous for you in this tank. Looking at the weight there at 8.6 tons, 350 horsepower with a top speed of 42 kilometers per hour. It's right in line with the rest of the mediums. The traverse there at 40 is a little bit above average, and the turret is best in class there at 44 degrees per second. Just dropping down here to the ammo on here, you're going to see some reasonable penetration numbers. What really jumps out with this tank is 160 hit points with your AP and 200 for your HE rounds. Keeping in mind on the HE, it has a penetration value there of 38, which is fairly high for the class. Let's take a look here at the tech tree and where this tank will take you. You can see it here in the middle of the screen. You can either go down the Pz Kpfw IV line to the Tigers here, to the E75, E100. Recommend this line if you like good armor and good guns. Or you can also drop down to the DW, which takes you into the Panther line and the E50, E50M. These are great guns. Good for sniping, but much weaker on the armor than the E75, E100 line there. So anyway, let's take a look at how this is set up. I am running consumables of repair kit, multi-purpose restoration pack, and adrenaline. Provisions running standard fuel, chocolate bar, and of course always protective kit. And this is primarily due to the 20% fire protection in case of engine damage. So ammunition here, I am running with 13 rounds of heat. And again, you can change that to credits by pushing this button to the right. Equipment, I am running a rammer. Always run the rammer just because it gives you that faster reload time. The enhanced gun lane drive, which adds speeds up your aiming time, and then vents for 5% to all crew mastery skills. So let's take a look real quick at the spreadsheet and see how it compares to the other mediums. Okay, got the spreadsheet pulled up here, and as you can see, with 400 hit points, it is towards the top of the class there. Only the medium 3 is higher. Hull armor is weak, but the turret is above average. Weight there is right in line with the average for the class. It's got a little bit above average horsepower and right in line with the rest of the class for top speed, where it does traverse faster and does have a turret traverse that is top of the class, which allows you to turn more on a dime and get yourself out of trouble if you've got tanks close by. Shell penetration numbers not great, but what jumps out there is obviously the 38 for the HE round, and then of course top in class on the AP, and with 160 and 200 for that HE round. It does have a long reload time. You're only going to get 4.3 shots per minute, but and with the 2.5 aim time, you do have to be patient with it. But I really enjoyed playing this tank. It was a lot of fun to dish out some big hit points and just drop some of these smaller tier tanks. So let's go ahead and look at a couple gameplay videos. Alright guys, here we are on Copperfield. I am top tier. I've got a bunch of lights on my team and I'm suspecting that they will go right. Sure enough, that's the way they're going to head. I will stick with them. Don't want to be with one or two teammates going left, although I do prefer going left on this map. So our team heads over to the corner. This BT pushes up quite a little too aggressively. He is going to take a walloping here, get one good shot into him, and he is going to run for cover. And I am reloading and trying to be as patient here about getting my aim down, and I shoot right in front of him. And that's kind of disappointing, and you'll see why later in the game. So now they've got three guys over there on the other side. You do have to be very patient or get really up close just because of the dispersion on this gun. You could see he was backing away, and you know, the aim wasn't where I would have liked it to have been to take a shot, but he was going to back away, so I figure what the heck. And see, this is kind of a lucky shot there too, so it kind of makes up for it, I guess. I'm going to push up and get myself into the corner here. Hopefully that's going to provide cover from a lot of these guys. And I can just push right up on here, and they won't be able to get shots on me. So I am reloading, and I'm going to push forward. And I can take a shot here. These guys are half life, which means that I can finish them off on one shot. And you see how nimble this tank is, how well it turns. You just got to be patient. I've got a guy on my left, guy on my right. They're each one shot, so I'm going to take out the martyr and just back away while I reload. And again, you know, I can take a shot, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to aim low and finish him off. For the third kill of the game, we've got three left, and they are all sitting in base. Going to decide to head left here, which gives me a little bit cover from the guys in the base, and aim for that Valentine right there. So got to get the gun depression down, which means I got to get over this ridge. Don't like sitting here, but you can see there, finish him off with one shot. Reload as I get down off of that hill, and we've got two tanks left. And he is going to show me his side, and I'm going to drop 144 hit points into him for kill number 5. And as you might have guessed from the intro there, I'm going to ram this guy and finish him off for kill number 6. And the BT was the only one that I didn't get. And of course I missed him by inches. Anyway, that's what this tank can do. Get some tanks out there with half hit points, and you can finish them off with one shot. You do have to be up close, be patient with the aim time, and just try to use your agility to get good cover and move back into safety while you reload. Alright, another new map here, Winter Malinovka. You can see I am low tier, which means that I get to see some new maps in these tier 3 tanks. So anyway, I am going to push all the way to the left, hoping to get some help from my teammates here. And I'm going to slow it back to normal speed here, and I'm just going to wait around this corner. If we get anybody that is over anxious and pops around this corner, I can get a shot in and I can back up, and I've got the rest of the team behind me, but no such luck this time. So I am going to take it cautious, and you never know, there could be 3 or 4 tanks just all waiting for me to come around just like I was. So want to check it, also give my teammates time to catch up. They have decided, I guess, to go to their left also, the opponents that is. So we're going to push up cautiously, and you can see here I am always staying behind ridges and mounds, never driving out in the open. You can see here I could drop back and get under cover if I needed to, and I've got the mound to my right, so I'm protected. So they have given up their location by going to the base. Now, whenever I'm down here in the lake area and the team is gone base, I prefer to get to this mound here. It gives you some good shots on the base. So you can see that DW there. I cannot penetrate him with my AP. So I'm going to have to switch over to heat. And that is not a problem as far as penetration goes. And getting some good numbers there as far as penetration, 168 hit points there. So he is now just a one shot. Not sure who that was that got me there, if that was that howitzer or what, but we get rid of the DW, and they are still sitting in base. You can see the base captures up to 22. I'm gonna go back to the left here, and I was hoping to get that T28 before he headed down to the Matilda, and that would allow me then to swing back to the right to the base, and I felt like I had enough time to do that. So here I go trying to protect Matilda, but that T28 has dropped all the way down the hill, so no point chasing him with them sitting in cap. Gonna miss that shot, didn't really aim it that well, and you can see here I am gonna push right up to the rocks so that he doesn't have a shot on my front plate. He would only have a shot on my tracks. Luckily for me, the Pz IV there is not a very good player, so he's gonna let me just drive right on past him and get a shot into the howitzer. And I'm just going in for the ram here, just want to break his tracks. You can see what we've done there so that he cannot turn. I've got a teammate takes him out. I'm gonna swing back around and go in on the Pz IV, who's just completely ignored us. I am now hiding behind the T28 because I am a one shot if he were to shoot, but thankfully he's not a good player and he does not shoot. So this kind of leads you into why going to base, typically most of the bases are wide open. You are going to get picked off if you go into base, so not a good strategy. We only had one kill here, but I think I did fairly decent on the damage. Did have to shoot a few heat rounds, but still made some credits on this. 843 damage there. So anyway, let's take a look at another game. Alright, another new map here. I am platooning with a good platoon mate of mine, Iron Jaw, and we are going to go off to the right here on Canal, and I'm going to stay along this ridge line on the right side of the map so that I don't get spotted. And looks like that A20 is pushed up hard into the very corner. I'm going to be patient here and let that aim go down and drop 160 hit points on him. I do get spotted, however, and that LTP is rushing in there. Not sure why. Trying to be as patient as possible here, hoping that shot would go in. And so now, take it upon myself to go try and save the little LTP. Take that shot on the run, which might not have been well advised, but trying to keep a friendly gun in the game. He gets taken out, and I get there just a second too late. Don't like being in this corner here. You can see T46 pushes up on me, and I back down and set him on fire, and he shoots me and sets me on fire. It's kind of ironic that that happened that way. Just makes you question the game. We are down here 5-4. My platoon mate's been taken out already. Gonna go ahead and finish off the T46. The cruiser's back there, trying to just get out of the way while I reload, and I'm gonna drop back and try to get a shot on, but he is taken out. So now we're up 4-on-3. Gonna push around back to the right. We've got one spotted in the middle there. Not sure where the other two are at this point in time. But when you do push around the corner here, just be cautious. Don't go flying out, because you don't know where the opponents are. You don't want to get yourself in a situation where you can't back up and get to cover. So the Valentine there, he's got no armor up top, so I'm going to switch over to HE and drop 200 hit points on him. And that allows a teammate to take him out with the next shot. And now we are just got one tank, just need to find him, and he is down in the canal there, and it is a Matilda, which could cause a significant amount of problems. You see how much red there is on the AP shell. I get lucky here, aiming real low on the bottom of that Matilda and land that shot. Now he's only 42 hit points, so I can pretty much get that out of one HE shell, so I'll go ahead and use it and get the kill there. So, you know, pretty standard game. It was a good team that we had. Made some good credits. 797 damage on that one. Next game here is Yamato Harbor. This is one of the newest tanks maps. It's kind of interesting. I prefer going left to the hills. Feel like a much better player there. So, gonna instruct the team to go left. And then the BT7 then contradicts me and says right. And proceeds to drive straight down the middle. So, now we're a little bit confused. And luckily this turns out to be a very quick game with a very strong team. So, I'm going to come over to this ridge and just play it cautious, see if anyone pops up. You can see most of my team on the mini-map there has gone down the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and push forward, and I can't back up anyway because that guy's blocking me. So at this point, I'm just going to try to stay alive and push on the Luchus there. Finish him off, and looks like the red team has all gone to the flag. So I'm gonna push back to the right. I don't want to be a lone flanker on all the way on the left, and don't want to push up through the middle either. So gonna swing back to our spawn area here and see what pops up. Got a couple down that sight line there, and have to stop here and can't pass up an open shot like this. Unfortunately hit the side of the dirt mound. I see that M3 in front of me. I know I'm going to have trouble penetrating his frontal armor, so I'm going to switch over to heat and get a good shot in on him. And he has gotten himself trapped right up against the side, and he can't turn without pulling forward. Probably could have done a better job of just parking right beside him and keeping him from moving, but you can see take him out with a second shot, and that's the game. Not a lot of action there. It was just a good teamwork game, but even with that, you can see that we did 539 damage, third highest on the team on the low tier. So anyway, let's look at one more. Alright, last game here, back on Copperfield, this time spawning on the west side, and just checking the mini-map, checking our teammates behind, making sure they're coming with us. Much better if you can all go the same direction. A little bit of childish humor there, shooting those tanks and watching them explode. So anyway, I'm going to push up to this rock here. This presents itself as a really nice spot. Looking through the bushes there, you can see I've got a nice angle on the tank, making it difficult for anyone to shoot the lower glacis there, kind of increasing the effective armor of this tank, which is already, you know, pretty good. But you want to try to avoid getting shots on the hull of this tank. So you can see they're dropping 170 points or so on a tank with only 230. It kind of ruins their game. You can see here I am very patient, wait for it to reload and aim, and still miss. So that's going to happen from time to time on this tank. Obviously, the closer you can get to your opponents, the better. However, obviously there's a right time and right place. You can see that T7 carrier there. It's getting quite a few shots on me. Half of them went in, half of them did. And it's really hard to concentrate when you get shot by one of those. But luckily we got the kill on him. And the T2 mediums popped out, and I aim and hit that dead carcass, even though I wasn't aiming at that. But anyway, we are being patient and gonna pull out and get the aim and finish him off, and he bounces a shot. 2 tanks left. Go ahead and push up. I've got plenty of hit points at my disposal, so I can be more aggressive now. There's the Jag. Gonna go ahead and get a shot in on him. Back up to reload, and you know what? I'm just gonna go push forward. I think the other one's behind there. Sure enough, he pops up. Go around the back here and get a shot into the rear and finish him off for kill number 3. And now just being aggressive, want to try to ram this guy. Can trade some hit points for sure, and the team finishes him off for the win. Great tank, had a lot of fun in it. I would say probably one of the most overpowered tanks in the tier, in my opinion. So give it a good spin, be patient with the aim time, and have fun dropping 160 hit points on people. So as always, guys, have fun out there, stay safe, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.